Hey, Leslie.
Adele, how are you today?
Right. How'd you like that music?
I actually really love that music. It's fantastic. I love actually all the music that you put with the videos. They're all it's fun. And
Yeah. Well, I felt like it was kind of summery.
yeah, and that's the season that we're in right now.
Yes,
Yes.
we are. Well,
Yeah.
it's just always great to have these interviews and it's exciting. So, I feel like we had to have some really upbeat music.
Yes, and your point to the interviews, I so love them because I just think it really helps everybody, you guys out there, to get a real feel for what these teachers are like, and they are all really at the top of their game. So it's just really fun to get a better look and insight into them. I just think it's really fun. Elena, hi, we see you there.
Yeah.
Thanks for she loved the Caribbean music.
You like the
Yay.
Caribbean music. Well, I have to find some more of that.
Yeah, it's fun. I think it's great.
Well, it's just, I'm seeing a lot of comments about that it's teachers that they've seen on the internet and they've seen them, but they didn't know much about them. So these interviews is really, really helping to make that connection with these teachers.
Lucretia, hi. We
Hey,
see
Lucretia.
you. Yes. And Lucretia was just with me in California taking a class. So and she's taking an online class. So it's so much fun to see everybody here. I love, and Adele and I, back in 2019, when we decided to put this together, our big thing was number one is to share art and our love of art. But number two is the connection. And, we just love the connection. I mean, it's like really happening and it's like so fantastic. I love it.
Yes, I'm thrilled. And I see that Ellen is here.
Hey, Ellen, thank you for letting us know who you are, too. That's so wonderful. Yes. And so we really are so excited about the registration and what's going on. And remember if you're within the first 200 to sign up for the art box, and we're getting very close there, you get this really cool thing that is mailed to you in person. And inside are 12 different 12 different cards that were beautifully designed by Adele here. And if you didn't notice, Adele and I spoke beforehand and we decided to come in with turquoise today. So we're highlighting turquoise and it's one of my favorite colors. I'm just going to read you just a little bit on what the back of this card is. There's two different things. There's spirituality and then there's also symbolism. And so let me talk a little bit about the symbolism. Turquoise, the captivating sea green stone of the ancients, represents wisdom, tranquility, protection, good fortune, and hope. And there's more written on that too. So be one of the first 200 to sign up for the art box and you will receive this in your mailbox. Yay for that.
Yeah, and just to let you know that those will be going out in October. We are gathering all the addresses and preparing labels. So don't worry if you signed up into the art box presentation. We have your information and you will be getting it. So
yes.
We're excited for you to get it too.
Yeah, right.
We want to see your reactions.
I know. It's so much fun. Yes, definitely. And while we're on the subject of color, let us talk a little bit about what you have created for us, Adele.
Well, I started thinking because I always like to change my banner and my profile picture. And I thought, well, what about if we did something really fun for the Art Connection, not only for the summit, but for the community? So I created a frame that everybody can use, and I'll just put it up here. So this is a little mock-up so you can see what it looks like. And it's there for you to use. So feel free to go into profile and you just click on frame and you do the search for the Art Connection 2021 and the frame will be there for you to add on top of your picture.
It's really super easy to do. I mean, it takes just a second to do, and you can even put a timeline on it, or you can do it permanently, whatever you feel like. And it's just so I love the color. It just
Yes.
shows, and that's what we're all about here. So, and Adele, where did you say people can find that?
Well, what they need to do is they just click on their profile picture. There's a little camera right there. You click on that, and then it'll show you either add a picture or add a frame. And you just
Great.
click on add a frame, and then there's a search on the left-hand side, and you just put in Art Connection 2021, and it will show up for you.
Yeah, and I did it this morning, and believe it or not, the Art Connection, it was already there for me to find. So
Okay.
it was easy. It was super easy to find, definitely. And what we're streaming in many different venues right now. So it's in the Art Connection community page, Facebook page. And is it anywhere else?
Well, we have it besides our personal pages.
Yeah.
You talk about the frame.
Yeah.
Well, the frame can be on
Anywhere.
In fact, Maria Saraceno, in fact, she's here.
Hey,
Maria. She was asking me about putting it on the business page, and it's the same method. You just go in there, click on the profile, the little round one, click on that, and it'll show either profile picture or frame.
Right. Add a frame. Right. Perfect. Yeah. It's fun.
Yes. Yes.
That's it. And speaking of fun, yes, I know. And speaking of fun, we have Deb with us today, and she's one of our teachers, and her class is going to be really interesting. So without further ado, let's bring Deb up.
Hey, Deb.
Hey, Deb.
How are you, Leslie?
In the middle there.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us today. It's so much fun. We love your project, and we are so excited to see what people come up with. It's going to be so much fun. So we will get to your project in just a little bit, but what we want to do is give everybody just a little bit of a feel about you and who you are. And so let's talk about your art history background. And I think it just kind of helps people know, like, how did you get on this path? So as you were growing up, what was your strongest influence you had?
So I was raised on a farm, and I thought about this a long time because I actually don't have many artists in my background at all. What I do have is people that work with their hands. So hard work, and I have a grandmother who did tatting.
Oh, yeah.
But otherwise, none. A little bit of embroidery, but so not really. So my answer to that is pretty short.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's carried over very nicely, though. Even the tatting. I mean, that's very tedious work.
Yes, it is. It's very tedious, and I've never done that. But but
Yeah.
I'm thinking of what I saw as a kid growing up, and I did not.
Yeah.
4 years in high school of art. I love art, so.
Well, and I think the big key there is working with your hands.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I have lots of family work with their hands. So
Yeah.
So, since you didn't feel like you had a lot of influence on the art, and how did you start making the art that you're making now?
So I have been a hairstylist for 40 years. And same thing, why did I decide to be a hairstylist? Because I didn't want to be a nurse. There was really no, and the other thing is I have a sister who's a hairstylist. So I thought, well, if she can do it, I can do it. That being said, I have worked with hair for 40 years. That is my medium of choice. So when I started felting 10 years ago, I was actually very upset because it wasn't 10 years now, it's been 11. I was upset because I didn't know the medium prior to this. So I thought, I'm old. start doing this. But what I realized when I retired is that I've been a fiber artist my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hair being my medium.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, and I never realized that till I retired. So
Well,
that is a great awakening, you know,
it
to
sure
realize
is.
that you've always had it, and now you found, like, in a sense, the same medium. You know,
Right,
it's just
right.
a different form of what you're creating with it. And do you have something like, why do you make your art? Is there something that's driving you behind this?
So I have to be busy with my hands always, whether I'm watching TV, whatever I'm doing, I'm busy. So why do I do it? When I go for walks, I see things. I pick up anything, and it brings a thought to mind. And so really, why do I do it? Because I have to be busy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Well,
some
that's
people probably call that ADD.
Yeah.
I would probably agree with that.
oh my goodness. Well, it's very interesting that when we interview the teachers, we get the same information that their creativity comes from everywhere, whether they're walking or just looking at a program or whatever, you know. So that's that is seems to be repeated in our
Mhm.
interviews.
Mhm.
What advice do you have, Deb, for a beginner, somebody coming into the art world?
You know, I thought about that, and I would suggest that they try something, and if you don't like it right away, don't continue. I mean, really and truly, if you don't like it, don't do it. If it's tedious, don't do it. If it feels kind of fun, continue. I am just saying that the way I am with things, it's if something, and when I started felting, I actually was going there to do a metalsmith, to do silversmithing. And I took a course before I went to Snow Farm, and I found it to be way too tedious, so I didn't do it. So I came onto wet felting totally by accident,
Yeah.
because my husband went to do a welding class and I did the felting class.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that, you know, things are, I think that's like great advice. You know, if something isn't clicking with you, don't force yourself to do it. You know, like my example is I went to a beading class with a friend many, many, many years ago, and it was a 3-day tiny little thing that we were creating. And at the end of the class, I went, man, can you believe that class? And she goes, yeah, I loved it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I will never do that. You know, and so my beading is like just little delicate pieces. But, you know, I think that's, you know, don't, just because everybody else is doing it, don't force yourself to do it. Like, be your own person. I think that is really great advice.
Well, but
I love it.
you have to try different mediums to see what
Absolutely.
you like and what you don't like.
Right.
It's like I took up gold work and I'm going, what was I thinking? I'm blind.
But Adele, I think like what you're saying too is, you know, things you can get some crossover with it. You can
Yes,
take
yes.
part of it. Like I took part of the beading and added in, but you know, I'm not the whole thing. So I think I love that. And so we have some people here saying hello to us. So that's really wonderful.
I think Deb may know this person.
Oh, I do know that person. And Jonas says, hi, Da. My grandma name is Da.
I love it.
He gave that to me. So
that is so fantastic. Welcome. We're so glad that you're here with us today. That's so fun. Yeah.
It's always fun to have family come in.
Absolutely. So let's step into the studio, into your studio, and let's give everybody kind of a personal feel about how you work. And most artists, you know, have their setup and the way that they like things in their studio. And do you have a tool that you consider most important to you?
I actually do not have a specific tool. I would consider my hands and my walk my tool. So I have a large studio. I have more supplies than you could ever imagine. So my tool is actually being in there and I see something and it's all out. And so my tool is having my stuff available to see and then using whatever for that. So I do not have a specific tool.
Okay.
Yeah. And I find that, sometimes it is, like many of us, we are so visual. And so it's that visual stimulation. And like you said, your walks and that type of thing too. Absolutely. I think that's great.
Well, you're right. I think that we do have certain ones that we use. Like, for instance, I would say with needle felting, I mean, we couldn't needle felt without the needles, right?
Yeah. That's exactly right. Or the wool. Or
the wool and everything. So everything becomes your favorite. You know?
Yes.
Is there an element of the art you create that you enjoy working the most with?
So color. Color is definitely, I've tried to work monochromatically and it never fails. I have to add something else. Like I get all done and it's like it's missing something. So that I would say color. Color is, and I love it. That's
I like color too.
And so do you have a favorite part of your process as you're creating your art?
I enjoy the whole process, but I do not enjoy the last 10%. So, to me, I already know what it's going to look like. It's done, and the rest is tedious. So I make art for myself, and when I can see what it is, then the last 10% is difficult for me to do.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I would be like anxious to finish it. If I'm getting that close, it's like, okay, I need to finish this.
Right. I could put it back on and never finish it. That's just, and then get on to the next one. That's.
Well, when do you know that your piece is finished?
I've heard this question asked, and what I think is funny is I don't consider any piece finished until I die. Because you could always take a piece and do something else to it. But that's my own And so when I look at something, it's like, okay, it's good. It's good now, right? But is it finished? Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. And then some artists, sometimes they will have a time where they get stuck or have a creative block. Does this ever happen to you? And and if so, do you have any suggestions for people that might be faced with this dilemma?
I never have that. Because I have 50 ideas in my head. And if I was to be truthful, I would say 10 ideas in my head all the time.
Yeah.
And then I have to decide which one I'm going to do. And I do change up. I do some hand dyeing. I do some eco printing. I change it up, but a lot of that comes from outside too, just seeing what's out there. I see the leaves and it's like, okay, I need to go eco print something. So I don't.
Yeah, I think that most artists always have something going on in their head.
Absolutely.
A couple of already, I'm going to do this, but then I want to do all of those too. There's always something happening.
And you can't see this, but behind my computer screen, I have 2 huge whiteboards and I write down, I have a brain dump up there so I can at least get it out of, because you know how ideas, like they come into your head and they can leave just as quickly. So I want to capture it when it's the idea and then I just write it down so that
I do that on my phone when I'm walking. Notes. I tell my notes, my thoughts. So.
Well, that's great. That's good.
to keep, especially when you have so many ideas going on, you know, you don't want to lose them.
Right.
You know, definitely.
Well, it looks like somebody is saying here that she bets. Let's see. I bet you this is Ellen talking. She says, "I bet I have more supplies than you." That's Ellen.
Is that you, Ellen? Who's saying that?
That's Ellen. I think she's been digging her way out of her studio area because she's getting ready for a studio walkthrough.
Right.
So she's probably discovering all kinds of supplies.
I know. That's so fun. I love that.
Yeah.
And like you open a box and like, wow, I haven't seen, now I have to create something with this. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Ellen. She just replied.
Yes. Hi, Ellen. We knew that was you.
Yeah.
And so now we're going to get a little bit more personal with your art and your inspiration. And a lot of times artists will have like a favorite piece that they created, but we realize that each piece is very individual and unique. And so is there something that you designed that you just love?
So I have a huge piece that's 3 by 5 in my living room, and it's called Nomadic Serpentine. I think it might be in the book. It's probably my favorite, but it has a lot of techniques on it, and it started out to be a cabbage leaf.
Yeah.
And it totally turned into something else. So it's just interesting how you start something and it's not at all what you thought.
Yeah.
And so my favorite piece is usually the piece I'm working on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we hear that
I find that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of these pieces that you've been working on, the ones for the Art Connection Summit are absolutely amazing. And can you tell the who's listening and who will do the replay, what encouraged you to do these particular portraits that you did for the class?
So really and truly, I was looking online and someone had an app. And so I just decided, wonder what that looks like. And my husband was downstairs and I said, I would like to take a picture of you. And he's like, really? You're going to take a picture of me? And I said, yeah, I want to, I got to go this way here. I said, I want to take a picture of you because I'm going to put you in this app and see what happens. And so I started with him. And then I decided I needed to do the whole family. So that's how that came about. And then that included doing a self-portrait. So as you can see behind me.
The other one. There you go.
That's a self-portrait. So when I started with my husband, I worked larger, meaning larger spaces to try to decide how it was going to look. And when I worked on mine, I did much smaller, a little more detail. So anyway.
It looks wonderful. It looks just like you.
I know. I love it. It's so much fun.
And we're so excited that you're offering, how you did these, because I think they become like an heirloom, especially if you do the generation pieces.
Right. And so that's what I have. I have 3 grandsons to finish their pictures, their felted portraits, and a son-in-law. So, and then I will have done the whole family. So
that's so fantastic.
For the year. So,
and do you have one there of your granddaughter?
I do.
Let's take a look at her.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is Anna.
Yes.
And she is so darn special.
Yes.
So there we go.
Yeah.
That looks great.
So you can tell they're large. I like to work big. I am not very good at doing small, tedious things. I like to work larger. So Anna's a little bit bigger.
Oh, that's so great. I love that. We, as you know, we're so excited that you're here teaching this really incredible class. And we want to know why you're excited about being here to teach with us this year.
Well, I can't believe how you guys are so organized. And And to be able to be with so many other great teachers is just phenomenal. So that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited about all the classes and that they are really so widespread and fantastic teachers and administrators. So doing all what we do. So I appreciate that.
Well, we're working very hard. We ran, we did a summit last year, and we learned a lot from that summit to refine this summit. So it's a learning curve for us too.
Yeah.
But we're getting there, and we're excited about everybody being with us.
I do.
Yes. And, like what I was speaking about too is creating this community. And if you guys have signed up for Deb's class already, be sure to jump into the Facebook page, because there is pre-work for you guys there. So you can get your supplies, you can start, get your pre-work completed. So on day one of the summit, you guys are ready to go. And it's the pre-work is very thorough, and everything's explained really well. And Deb is there with you on the Facebook page. So if she's already been there, answering questions and helping people along. So it's going to be so much fun. I'm excited. Yeah.
I'm sorry. The pre-work is, unless you want to look like I do here, this is all about you. So that's the reason to do the pre-work, is it's going to be your photograph, your felted portrait. So everyone's going to be different. You need to go in, see how we get to the point where we are, and then order supplies to make your very own unique portrait.
Yes. So, yeah. And I think that's the beauty of this whole thing, is each and every one will be unique and their own. Yeah, definitely. And I see we have a couple comments on this too.
Let's see. Here we go. She's excited about the class.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be so much fun. I love it. Definitely.
Hello, Jess.
So,
Yay.
Deb, I wanted to ask you, when you telling them to purchase the wool, do you give them suggestions for any kind of skin colors, or they're just basing everything off the app when they create their picture?
Every app
Yes.
has different styles.
Right.
So the different styles, this is a stylized portrait. It is not realism.
Right.
So much. So everyone is going to be different. Some skin tones, on my son's, for instance, it's blues, greens. So it is not normal skin tones. In a lot of my particular one is, my husband's is very red. My daughter's is very light. As we look at Anna, you can see she does have some natural skin tones, but even like here, it's oranges and browns. It's not, so she's more of a yellow tone than most skin tones. So I don't have a specific list.
Okay.
Now, if they do contact living felt, they can tell them if they want normal skin tones, living felt will be able to help them.
Okay. Well, I'm just, for those that are listening, that they understand that their wool selection will be based on the picture that they develop in the app.
On the portrait through the app. That's exactly right. So they're all going to be different. Yes. Thank you.
And I think that's part of the beauty of it, is that, we really aren't just like one skin tone. We really do have a lot of different colors within us. And I love that the apps really bring that out. And I think that makes it really interesting. Yeah.
It out, and I think it looks a little more artsy rather than realistic. And I like a piece of art as opposed to necessarily realism. I could take a photo and get realism.
Right.
Just my own opinion. So,
yeah. Right. I think it's going to be really fun. It's going to be great to see what people come up with.
And also, Deb, you generously have donated to the Art Connection is a tutorial on your slap bracelet.
Yes. Have you heard of a slap bracelet?
And it's felted.
Yes.
Flat bracelet. And so these are from my day, which has been a while ago. But the nice thing about them is that they fit everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've done is I've taken a silicone slat bracelet and felted. This particular one I've embellished it, but I have some here that I just did a little stitching. And then there's one that has no stitching at all, and it's just silk added to it.
Beautiful.
So, lots of different ways, but the great thing is they're comfortable. One size fits all. So,
Well, that's great. And that's very generous of you, Deb. We appreciate you giving the tutorial. And also, just to let you know, if anybody wants to try this, I know you're offering some kits. Make it a little easier for them to get the supplies and not have to buy a bunch of stuff.
Right. And they can just go to my website. I think it'll be listed there. And you're going to pick red, blue, golden, gray, or black. This particular one started blue. It's not going to be a blue bracelet. It's going to be colors because you're going to have several colors included in the kit. So if it says blue or even red, this might have started red only, and it might not have. I might have started at orange, but so you can see it's not an orange bracelet.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so much fun.
Right.
It's a surprise when they get it.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about felting it is a surprise, and how it comes out. That's fun. So yay for that. Thank you for that too, Deb. Really, really wonderful. And so we also like to jump in a little bit and to wonder if there's anything that's that you have like another interest in something else besides felting and art.
I do, and it's called travel. So I would say that I have wanderlust. I love different places. I'm not so much a big city necessarily, but I am different cultures. I love to see how people make it in the world wherever they live. So, and I do know that we're very blessed to be living in this United States. When you go to other countries and you see how things are not quite as easy as we have it here.
That's true.
It really gives you a real true vision of we are blessed.
Yeah.
So, yes. Yep. Well, that's great. I love to travel too. Unfortunately, it hasn't been so easy here for years.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, there's also, I wanted to speak about the summer issue. There is a great article on Deb in the summer issue of A for Artistic, along with all the other teachers. We did a special edition showcasing all the teachers and giving you a little bit more insight about their artistic journey. So check that out when you have a chance.
And thank you for that, Adele. It's beautiful. Yes. It's absolutely beautiful. So
yeah, we were real excited about it. I know we were really pushing all the teachers, get your articles in.
Yes.
It worked out well, and everybody that has received the e-magazine, they have really, really enjoyed it. They've gotten to know the teachers, which is
and the beautiful thing about that issue is it's different questions than what we're doing here. So it gives you another look at the teachers and what, their life and how they create their art, and also other arts that they create. So it's a wonderful issue.
Here, I'll put it up real quick so they can see which one we're talking about.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, it's great.
So those are all the teachers that are here for the summit. So if you get a chance, go take it. Go check it out.
Definitely. It's really wonderful. Well, Deb, we want to thank you so much for taking time with us today and answering our questions and having, a moment to get to know you better. So thank you.
You guys so much. You've gone way above and beyond, and I appreciate all the work that you've put into it. So
absolutely.
Thank you, Deb. And I'm just thrilled that you're teaching the portrait. I think that is once they get into it, they're going to love it because
Yes.
it's going to be such a nice keepsake, either to keep for themselves or to give it to a family member or even to a friend.
Right.
Really beautiful. I think it's going to be a real fun class.
Yes,
Thank you.
definitely.
And honestly, they could do their doggy too.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
Those
true.
are family members.
Sure,
Yes.
that's part of the family. That's
They just
true.
Right.
realize that they got a cool thing made for them.
I know. I love it. It's great.
Well, I wanted to mention before we left is Susie McMahon had given
Yes.
everybody a paper doll, and I'll put her up here. And this is going to be available for all the students as well as the art box presentation registration. But Deb took the paper doll and she went a step further, and she wanted to share that with you. So you want to show them what you did? You felted it.
Yeah.
Melted it.
Isn't that so much fun?
It was such a cute pattern. I just loved it. And I thought, well, wonder what would happen if I felted it. So yesterday I knew I was coming on here today, and it's like, well, Susie, you did such a fantastic job of making that. And so, yeah, this little guy, I didn't get my little, since I just did him yesterday, I didn't get my little, I can't make him move unless I move him like
Right.
this.
The control. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so great though.
It's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
It's really wonderful.
That gives them an option of what they can do with all that extra wool they're going to have.
Right. Right.
Well, it's been great, Deb. We're so happy you were here, and thank you so much for offering this class.
Yes.
Thank you both. I appreciate it. Leslie and Adele, thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
And we'll
Thank
be
you.
talking to you soon.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Deb.
You.
Mhm.
That was great.
Isn't that so fantastic? And, I loved actually seeing the portrait in person,
Yeah.
that is, because we see it online, but I mean, to actually see it in person, and you could really see the coloring in it. It's just gorgeous. So it's
Right.
going to
And,
be such a fun
and it was
class.
nice to see her sitting by it too.
I know. Isn't that was cool? Yeah, definitely.
Even though it's stylized, it's still, I mean, it looked like her. I mean,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't so off with the
Right.
application, the pre-work they're going to be doing. So that's great.
Right.
I'm just so excited about all the classes, really.
I know. As Deb mentioned, also, we have such a variety of classes. So,
Yeah.
that was our, Adele and I, we want to share all arts. So, that's in our big mission. That's part of our big mission, sharing art, but sharing all arts. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And Lucretia's video, she said that she enjoyed it. Wow. We're glad
you
that you're
too.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support, everybody coming in, and your encouragement. It really means a lot to us.
It does. So, Adele, we're down to the final pieces of getting everything together, and Adele and I are working long hours every day to get this all really put together really nicely for you guys.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's been going pretty smoothly. It's just a huge amount of work. It doesn't matter. You still, whatever it is you have to do, you still have to go through all the process. So
Right.
it's a long process. And it's we cannot express enough how long it is.
Well, and the big thing is we really want it to be right for you guys. We want it to be easy. We want the whole thing to flow. And so, like Adele said, we learned things from last year, learning things from this year too. So we're getting better and better every year. So this year we are so excited with the teachers, and the presentations are phenomenal. They are so great. And that is where you will find the slap bracelet is within the art box presentations.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And it's that will be released on the first day of the summit, when the summit opens in October. And we're basically 47 days away. Yeah. It's scary. I don't even want to say that.
Yeah. Oh, well, we got it. We're on
okay.
it. Yes. Yeah, we're good. Well, definitely.
Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Yes.
We look forward to, we have a couple more teacher interviews.
Yes.
So we'll be announcing those soon. And then we have a special interview that we're going to be doing. And,
Yes.
We'll be announcing that one soon, too.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, you guys. You know, we appreciate all of you. We love you, and we love your support and your faith in us.
Thank you so much. Have a good Sunday or Saturday.
Saturday.
Maybe.
Saturday. See you guys. Thank
All right.
you.
Okay. Bye-bye.